Maybe.
Let's wait.
Maybe.
Here we go. Okay.
All right.
All right. Let Miss Wanda see if she can get some stuff drug over here. I'm letting her do it now.
Hello, everybody.
I don't like the mouse.
And I do.
She likes using the mouse. I don't like using the mouse.
It's Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead, because he forgets to tell y'all every time.
I figure if you tune into the channel, you know who I am.
You're supposed to say hello.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
I know we're about 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
It's raining.
It's actually, it was raining, and we're supposed to have had rain all the way till about 9 o'clock, but it's done stopped. You know what I mean?
So we thought we would come on a little early, and if it starts raining and it messes up and it starts buffering, we'd just have to call it quits, but we thought we'd try.
We figured we'd try. I mean, everything's been buffering really bad here for the last hour or two, but we figured we'll give it a shot, just see, you know, this old bummed up satellite system that we have, and it's the best we can do right now. We got so excited the other day. We was in town, and we thought we had it made. We was in town at a store, and the guy behind the register goes, "Hey man," he says, "have you signed up for the new satellite and the new internet?" And I was like,
"Nope."
No. He said, "Man, we just signed up here. You need to get on. It's going to be fiber optic. I mean, this stuff's going to be, you know, really good." He said, "I'll sign you up right now if you want me to."
He said they're about, what, 4 or 5 miles?
They're about 5 miles from your house. I was like,
he said, "Man, mine's gonna be hooked up within the next couple of 3 weeks." And he said, "They can't be far from your house." He said, "Let me sign you up." And
I said, "Go ahead, sign us up," you know. And he signed us up, and we got home. And I said, "Wanda, have you got any kind of email from him or anything?" And a few minutes later, she said, "Yeah." What did they tell you?
We are phase 3 or 4.
We're phase 3 or 4.
And when they finish where they're at, they go somewhere else. They don't come our way. We are on a different phase. So we are 2024.
Yeah, 2024.
They're 5 miles down the road. They're going to finish up and leave.
Yeah.
So 2024 before they get back.
Yeah. I don't even know if we'd be doing YouTube in another 2024. I don't think the world will be here in 2024. Oh, the world will be here, but I don't know how it'll be going because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah, we were like, okay, whatever. We stick with our bad internet.
I guess we'll just keep...
It's better than the dial-up.
Yes, better than the dial-up that we had. I have to agree with that. Yes. As a matter of fact, it's the best we have found. We've tried all kinds of antennas and, I mean, you name it. We've had boosters and hotspots and none of it worked. I'm not sad about that because
in the
long run, I really feel like because we have no service here, our phones don't work or nothing like that. We have to go up the road, we'll make a phone call or go to town. In the long run, it might be a blessing in disguise with all that's coming. You know, I mean, so we're not going to fret about it.
See, Jamie Fortberry got it in Columbia, and she said it's great. That's what we signed up for, but we are on the 3rd or 4th phase, which said they will be in our area in 2024.
Yeah.
So y'all were on the phase 1. So it ain't happening here.
I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just not going to worry about it. I made my mind up. It is what it is.
What is your favorite song?
What is my favorite song? I don't even know if I have a favorite song.
It'd have to be Alabama song.
It'll be something Alabama. I can almost guarantee you that. Well, it depends now if you're talking about gospel or if you're talking about country.
What's your favorite gospel song?
If it's gospel, it's going to be Ray Bolt's The Anchor Holds. That's going to be my favorite gospel song. I used to sing that song all the time. And my favorite country song would be any one of Alabama's songs. Because, I mean, to me, Alabama was I don't know, they were just like the real deal. I actually got to meet with Randy and them one time. And, you know, it was they're legitimate. Let me put it that way. They're legitimately good people.
And mine.
Now, if it was rock and roll, now let's talk about if it's rock and roll, it would be Ted Nugent. Not because of his music, but just because he's just a good old country boy who, you know, when you
music, not
I know, but I have to. You got to go by the artist because I don't care nothing about none of these other artists. I don't, even if I like a song, I got to like the artist. You know, but Ted's just like rock and roll to him. Playing it, that's just a job. It's not who he is. It's a way to make a living for him. He's actually a whole totally different guy. If you sit down and talk to him, he's just a totally different guy. He's a really nice guy, and he's a good conservative.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. With me, I like music. I am a music person. I play gospel in church, so there's many gospel songs that I just love. So I don't have one favorite one. When it comes to country, again, I like a variety. I don't have one in particular that I think about. And rock and roll, back in the day, I listened to different things like, Pablo Cruz and Meatloaf and...
It's probably Journey and...
I did, but I never cared about that.
Oh, I like
the hard rock. I like...
Well, Journey's not hard rock. I really like Journey, you know. I mean Foreigner.
I didn't listen to those.
I love Foreigner.
And you know, the laid back one where you listen to the hard rock, you know, more up. And I did listen to some upbeat.
He's a rough character, though. You got to understand. I grew up rough.
Somewhat. I didn't like loud extremes.
Yeah, I grew up rough. So
I was just kind of... But I do like music. Almost any kind of music.
ZZ Top was actually a friend of our family's here. So, I mean, that's kind of, you know, people talking about
the Eagles.
The Eagles. Actually, Don Henley, my wife that passed away, Don Henley's song was played at our wedding. I mean, Don Henley was always one of my favorite singers.
Yeah. So, for the most part...
To me, really, the 80s was probably the best music.
No.
Yeah, the 80s...
I was pregnant in the 80s. I didn't listen to music.
I can't help that you were pregnant in the 80s, but I mean, the 80s had
the whole 80s was just a blur of kids.
From the 80s was the best music. From the 60s and 50s, 60s, and 70s was the best cars.
No, the 50s, 60s, 70s was best music.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that. They had some really good music.
Had some good music.
Well, too.
I don't know. Some of the songs, they repeated the words over and over and over again. I don't think they could even remember more than one line.
Well, that's probably because they were high.
My daddy used to get so mad at that. Oh, Lord.
Have we looked into Starlink? Yes, I know all about Elon Musk and Starlink and all that kind of stuff. Starlink is really not in full swing just yet. It's only in Gen 2 right now, and it's got a little ways to go yet before I want to sign up for anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, 80s had some really good music. And the thing about it was people back then knew how to sing. People now, the instruments and keyboards and all that kind of...
They don't have to sing necessarily. They can tweak their voice with the machine.
You can take this machine sitting next to me here that I use for my podcast, and I can do anything with my voice.
You can tweak it and fix it where it does what you want it to do. And that's not right. I mean, it's kind of like cheating.
It is.
And they don't have instruments hardly anymore. They have something that makes all the music for them, and they don't have a band as much as they used to.
No, it's all done with just instruments now.
Yeah,
it's a one-person band. They do their own everything.
Allison said you could understand what the words were.
Yeah, you could actually understand the words. And I was a big fan of the Bee Gees and stuff like that. I
love Bee Gees.
Andy
Gibb.
Andy, I used to sing Andy's songs. As a matter of fact, when I was a young person, and I sang in a group, I sang a lot of Andy's songs.
Yeah. Don Williams. I like to hear Don Williams.
Don Williams was a really good, really laid back, good singer. I really like Don.
Favorite comedian, James Gregory. I have been listening to that man the last few weeks. I get so tickled at some of the stuff that man said. I'd never heard of him until a couple of weeks ago. He got to popping up in my feed, and I got to watching him. I don't know, favorite comedian. Back in the day, it was Jerry Clower, because he was
Jerry Clower was we grew up with him, but I'm talking about my favorite comedian. It's probably that Christian. What's his name?
He's redheaded.
Yeah, the redheaded guy.
And if you hadn't said it, I'd have known. He's a Christian comedian.
Christian comedian. He is so funny.
I can't remember names like I used to. I can see his face. I just can't remember.
Yeah, he would probably be my favorite. A lot of comedians I can't put up with because they're just foul mouthed, and I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I liked Jeff Foxworthy and the group.
Yeah.
What they call them,
all I know is Larry the Cable Guy and all of them.
Back when they first started, they were so funny. And I really enjoyed those. Yeah,
we don't watch TV. We don't go to the movies or anything like that. I used to do music a lot, but now I've got where I don't even hardly do. Now I do have my stereo on my Ranger plays all the time.
Yeah, he rides around my Ranger.
I ride around my Ranger with my stereo plays.
And I listen to I've got on my phone Spotify, and I listen to it's modern gospel, but it's a contemporary gospel, I guess. And like K-Love.
Tim Hawkins.
Tim Hawkins, that's it.
That's it, Tim Hawkins.
Yeah. So I listen to gospel, but I listen to contemporary gospel like K-Love. The songs that are on
Collar Tour is what you're talking
about.
That's
it. Yeah. That was the funniest thing when I first watched them the first time. It was hilarious. Somebody wanted to know what I buy when I go to the store. Actually, I really don't go to the store anymore.
Go to the store anymore.
If I order anything, I order it and it's brought to my house. We do Amazon, Walmart, and I even have Walmart deliver from our store. They will bring to the house. I have not had anything cold brought. We usually stop at Piggly Wiggly if I need butter or cream cheese, yogurt. I'll pick up a loaf of bread occasionally. I'm the only one that eats bread, so there's no point in making bread. I'll pick up a couple of loaves, and that'll last me a couple of months because, like I said, I don't eat it that often, and I throw it in the freezer. We pretty much have all we need with the salt, sugar, that sort of stuff, so I don't buy any of that. I don't buy flour anymore. I did order, well, this is it. I ordered popcorn flour. No, cornmeal.
Cornmeal.
Yeah, I ordered popcorn cornmeal from McCaskill Family Farms, and when it came the other day, I ordered 6 packs so I would have some popcorn cornflour or cornmeal to try, and I got 12 packs of popcorn, which Danny and I like popcorn, but that was not what I ordered. But we hope to have our meal from Justin. I hadn't heard from him on
we haven't heard anything,
so I'm not sure when.
Yeah, Justin hadn't got back with us on the meal yet. So.
Metcalf Meals, we're supposed to be getting a meal somewhere between now and fall. And so I told Danny, I said, I guess it's a good thing because popcorn will last in its popcorn stage, and we can grind it in our new meal if we get it.
Yeah.
So what else do I buy at the store?
I don't know. We don't go. I mean, if we have to go to town to get anything,
we run to the hardware store, the feed store, the lumber store, and I run in Jack's Plant and Patio about once every 2 or 3 months in there and just browse around, and or sometimes we buy 2 or 3 things, but I like their honey. I get some honey and stuff there, and if I order anything,
we gotta get some of these questions. You just keep talking.
I know, but I was trying to run through things.
We don't have any problems. Who's that? Lucy? Lucy said, do we have any problems with striped cucumber bugs? No, we don't have any of them here. Thankfully. We have plenty of other bugs, though.
We've got all the kudzu bugs.
Yeah, we have the kudzu bugs. Danny, is it too late to plant purple sweet potatoes so I can get some slips? I'm in zone 10A. If you're in zone 10A, no, it's not too late.
They can almost
You can plant year-round down there because it's not even going to freeze where you're at.
What about your cleaners and hygiene items?
Well, that was what I was going to say, but you kept talking. If we go to the store when we're in town, Wanda will run in and she will pick up some laundry detergent, some dishwashing detergent.
I already have a stash.
Yeah.
Like if I use one this week, like laundry detergent, I use one this week and one next week, and we run into town the end of next week, I'll pick up 2 or 3 to replace what I already had and used. I do that with dishwashing liquid. Yeah. Soap we don't buy.
No, we don't buy any soap because we're nasty people.
No.
We have YouTube friends and subscribers who make soap, and to be able to bless them, we will purchase a large amount of soap from them at a one-time lump deal to bless them. And in return, it blesses us because we have soap to last for years then, you know.
So I have a supply of soap, so I don't have to do that. I bought up a supply of razors back sometime last year, all the blades and everything. When I buy a supply of stuff, and then I wait for 3 to 6 months, check to see how we're using it. Then I buy another supply. But there again, I order everything that comes in.
Yeah, and for other hygiene supplies they're talking about, we don't, when we go in, Wanda will buy any kind of bath soap or anything like that we need in large quantity, like shampoo or something. She buys like 5 to 10 bottles at a time.
And one of these that goes and picks one.
We don't just pick up one and come out of the store. We come out, like, if we go to buy oatmeal, for instance, and we go in there and they got like these big old tall things of oatmeal. I'll tell Wanda, I go ahead and get 6, 8, 10 of them. I don't care. Just get them.
If they got 4 or 5, I get 4 and leave 1 or something.
We'll leave 1 for somebody else, but we'll clean the shelf off and get all of them for ourselves, you know.
But I don't go back in there for months
on end before we go back. Yeah, that's true. But now toothpaste, we either make our own or we'll only use Tom's no fluoride toothpaste. And I'm even getting kind of concerned about it because Cargill just bought out Tom's here a while back.
A year or so
ago. And Cargill is a chemical company, so I'm not sure about that anymore.
And I bought that up in bulk a couple of years ago. So I don't need to go to the store very often because I have my own store for the most part of what I need. I just don't. I mean, when we start to town, he says, what do we need? And I'm like, nothing. We never go by the grocery store unless we're totally something different.
Yeah, if we go.
I hardly ever go. I don't even know the last time I've been in a.
Oh, I don't even know when we went to the store last.
I know it's been over a month, maybe 2 months.
It's been a couple of months at least.
It's been a while.
Because I mean, now we can go online and we can say we need this from Walmart. Maybe they have a deal on some cane sugar because that's the only kind of sugar we'll buy is cane sugar.
Yeah.
And they'll
that shipped to the house.
And they'll just bring it to the house with a pickup truck. They'll drive right up out here in my driveway and deliver it for the same price I'm paying if I go to the store. So why burn my gas and my time when I can be working on my homestead here, and for the same price they'll bring it right to my doorsteps.
Yeah, and I told the lady, I said, so you're my personal shopper? And she said, yes, I am.
Yeah.
I mean, used to it was rich people had personal shoppers. Now it's anybody that, you know.
Okay. They're saying,
show our shirts.
Danny, what does your t-shirt say? A really good friend of mine I've done videos with, dear friend of mine, Mr. Bobby Spaggs, has been talked into doing a YouTube channel and a podcast and all that kind of good stuff now, website and all that kind of stuff. And he has created his own shirts that he's selling now.
Based on what him and Danny, on our video.
On our video, I asked him the question, if I get this right now. I said, Bobby, if you had any advice for anybody who was wanting to start out growing a garden or homesteading or anything like that, what would it be? And this is what it is, right here.
Okay, let me get you. Let
me get it right here.
Your hand's in the way.
Oh, okay.
Nope, let me see this side.
Turn off the TV and plant a tomato. Now, you can get these shirts on Amazon and lots of different places now.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Spaggs Unfiltered.
Yep, Spaggs Unfiltered. Now, Bobby, look, you got to watch Bobby. Will tell you like it is, and that's what I like about Bobby. Bobby don't cut no corners. He served in the service. He worked with, well, I can't tell you everybody he worked with because I might get in trouble.
The service.
He worked in special branches of the service. Let me put it that way. In places that most people don't have privy to. And so, yeah, he's a really sharp guy. I've been prepping for ever, you know.
And he does a lot of survival. He's been doing, I don't know what you call it, appearances for a long time teaching survival. And he thought he would just stay in the background and do his teaching. But between Billy and
Tag and
they kind of keep on at him. You need to
Andrew and I think a lot of the others, you know, I've kind of pushed him a little bit, you know, telling him he needs to do it.
His channel's called Spaggs, S-P-A-G-S, Unfiltered. Now, I don't think he has any
videos up yet. He's just getting everything off the ground, getting it rolling. And we just went ahead and jumped out there and told him, says, look, we'll buy 2 of your shirts right off the bat, you know. And
so we did. We bought.
Like David, what is TV anyway?
So somebody
tell a vision. They want to tell you about a vision they had.
All right, Eagle Lover asked before. My Anna apple is blooming in Houston. What's up with that?
Well, that's a good question, Eagle Lover. The trees are as confused about the weather as we are. That's about the best answer I can give you. Okay, so this question has come across here about a dozen times. Danny, what is your thoughts on the Masons? My son-in-law is one, and I think it is a bad thing. Yes, it is a bad thing. I will tell you now. Most of them are business owners.
They're not. It's not that they're bad.
They're not bad people. Now, don't get me wrong. They're not bad people because I have tons of friends that are Masons. I've even been approached about being a Mason. I turned it down. Most of them have no clue about what they're getting involved in. It's a secret society. 33rd's about as high as you can go in it. And I know several 33rd degree Masons. They're great people. I know them because of their handshakes. You don't even have to tell me you're a Mason. You shake my hand and I automatically know because I know probably more than I should know, but they're not bad people. They're not bad people. They get involved in something I think that they don't fully understand.
Okay, so they want to know who bought Tom's out. It was
Cargill.
Cargill or a subsidiary of Cargill?
No, it was Cargill bought it out.
Cargill?
They're a chemical company. They make fertilizers and all kind of other stuff.
Somebody says, I don't get on here too much, so who's Bobby? Back about a couple of months ago, Danny did a video with Bobby Spaggs. It's called, I think it's called Turn Off the
TV and Plant a Tomato. I did a video. He and I did a live video.
Yeah, and it's also on our podcast, so I don't know if I used that for both of them as the title or one of them, but that's where, when I used this, he liked the fact that I picked up on the little saying he had. So he sent us a message and says, hey, I created shirts for my new channel.
Miley, we have both gas and electric stoves. We have both.
Yeah. All right, so I got to show a couple.
Yeah, we got to show some things here. Okay, we got this right here. Go ahead and show it. We got this right here. This is an American flag. I'm pretty much, this came from Mr. Mickey. I know who it came from. He didn't.
Yeah, she finally admitted it today.
I know. See, they didn't put their name on nothing, but you can't. When somebody sends a message to me and at the side of it they put Semper Fi.
Plus their address.
I'm like, Semper Fi, okay, he's a Marine.
And I looked at the address.
And I looked at the address and I said, well, I know who lives at Lisle, Tennessee. So I went online and I have the ability to go online and I can pull up your piece of property and I looked and there's Mickey's shop. I said, well, it was Mickey who sent it.
So we knew, and then she messaged afterwards. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, because the one at the cabin's in bad shape.
Yeah, that's what he said. So Danny is Mr. Beck. Somebody got his name wrong.
Yeah, somebody got my name wrong with it, but it's okay. I still love them.
It says thank you, but I don't know if they even signed it.
I don't think they even put a name on it.
I don't
They
think
probably did on the outside of the envelope.
Steve.
Oh, Steve Nash.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to figure it out.
This was a gift from one of our subscribers, Mr. Steve. Yeah, we try to keep all the stuff together. Look at this, guys. I got the Farmall Cub Encyclopedia. I've been looking at this book. It has all the Farmall Cubs in it. It has every engine number.
Thank you, Steve. I've heard all this stuff all day long.
I know. Miss Wanda gets tired of me because I'm.
He's like, look.
I said, man, this here goes on a Cub tractor. I might need one of these things. And
I'm like, no.
She's like, no, we're not buying no more parts for the Cub tractor. You've already spent thousands and thousands and thousands. Mm-hmm. I said, but I don't have one of these, you know. And
I said no.
And she said no.
We finished in the barn.
We got to finish up the barn. That's right.
All right. And I'm sorry, I forgot the name of who sent this.
This is very much appreciated, guys. This Bible.
You have to open it up and show them.
Is the
extra.
Extra.
Y'all can read that from there, right?
Yeah. This is the extra large print because I'm losing some sight in my right eye.
And I should have thought about it, but I didn't. And we had a lady send me a message say she and her mom watch us, and they wanted to send something to help Danny out. And when she told me what it was, I said, oh, I should have thought of that. I don't know why I didn't think of the extra large print.
Yes.
And I forgot her name. I didn't write it down. It came today, but it wasn't on the package because it came from the Christian store. And so thank you for... I sent her a message. I think it was Lucy. Lucy, wasn't it you? I think it was Lucy. I should remember when I saw it.
Yeah.
I think it was Lucy. Then this week, this came from Cindy at Cindy's Sacred Garden. She sent me a package of different herbal things. And she and I are going to do a meet and greet. Danny, too, if he's here. And we're probably going to do a Zoom meeting somewhere with Cindy's Sacred Gardens. She is an herbalist and has a company. Yes, it was Lucy.
Yes.
I thought so. And then we got a letter from, it says Callahan. Not showing the address exactly. And then we got one from Candessa. And then we got one from Mr. Dwayne. So we got all these things. Plus we got a bunch the week or two before that I didn't really show, I think. I just said we got a whole bunch of letters. Poppy Seed says, I was going to send you a Bible with a larger print. I'm glad you got one.
Can we share who sells your soap link? That would be Red Duchess Farm was one of them.
Oh, who we buy soap from? Yes, Red Duchess Farms. Jamie
does
a fantastic job. I got soap from her. Here in town, Brittany at Hughes Homestead. I've gotten some from her. What's the other? Steve and Tasha. I can't remember the name.
Scott.
Steve. Scott.
Yeah, Steve Scott. Steve and Tasha Scott.
Oh, yeah, their last name's Scott.
I don't remember the name of their business.
I don't either. But they're here in town.
Well, they ain't no more. They moved.
Oh, well, not too far, but I mean, they still come to McDaniel's.
Yeah, they still come down to McDaniel's.
We have a place called McDaniel's over on the highway where on Saturdays, people come and bring their stuff and sell. And Steve and Tasha are usually there. They have this beautiful trailer
they've got set up immaculate.
And fixed. And she sells her goat soaps and stuff like that. I've gotten soaps from the Max. I'm trying to think. There was a variety of different Homestead channels that have been here.
Okay.
Living on a Dime. I got some from her.
Future folk, we get our bone sauce from Perma Pasture Farms. Mr. Billy makes it up there. He does a fantastic job. And I'm gonna tell you something. I put that stuff out. We ain't had nothing come back here. No. Danny, I seen this a while ago. Jonathan, your pomelo tree is doing really, really good. I got it in a pot right outside the house here. we'll probably show it in a video here before
I showed
long.
it last week.
Oh, okay. Wanda,
or week
was it
before.
on Crazy Days or on?
No, it was on Deep South. I did the herb garden and the citrus plants.
Okay, so we did show it. Okay.
Yeah, I showed it a week or so ago. The video, I think it said citrus, and it might have said herb garden and citrus, or citrus and herb garden, something like that. When should I order seed potatoes, and when do I plant them in East Texas?
Seed potatoes, you order them in the wintertime, late winter, early spring, and you probably would want to plant those late February. That's probably when. Now, you may have to put your order in the fall to make sure you get them, because they'll ship them whenever your time is right to put them out.
Some people said they've gotten the bone sauce and hadn't used it yet. We've got some.
We got a new batch, Bobby. We just Billy. Billy Bob. I got Billy Bob on my mind.
You got Bobby Spaggs on your mind.
Yeah, I got Bobby Spaggs on mine. Wearing his shirt. It's doing something to me, Bobby.
Oh Lord. What's your garden gun? I have they want to know what kind of garden gun you have. What do you use when you
I use a 22 caliber air rifle made by Beeman. The gun's not made anymore. It's a very expensive gun, and it shoots just like a 22 rifle. Don't make any noise.
We did get some more rain. We got rain yesterday after lunch and a little bit again last night, and then we got some today. Not a lot, but we got some, and we may have some later tonight, but altogether, maybe a couple inches?
We only got 1.5 inches.
Yeah, all week. It's
all week. It ain't been a lot. It ain't putting no water in the pond or nothing like that. But it has kept our plants alive. What's bone sauce made of? Well, in order to answer that, you'd have to talk to Mr. Billy, because Mr. Billy makes that stuff. He has his own secret recipe. I know that burnt bones is in it. You gotta have. Other than that, I don't know any
hot sauce.
It stinks to high heaven. But you know what?
Some people said it didn't work for them. I know some people that have an abundance of deer. Like if you live somewhere where more than 2 or 3 deer come out, like 10, 15, 20 deer, it may be a little harder to control them, because
we ain't had no possums, no coons, no nothing. Deer.
We got
foxes,
an armadillo somewhere.
Well, armadillos don't. They just eat worms,
but we got an armadillo, and we do have a possum. You did find where we have a possum somewhere.
We have one,
but he hadn't been in our corn yet, I don't think. But he's been in the
he stays in our compost pile.
Yeah. What's the new liquid phosphorus? How's it working for you?
Oh, it works great. Liquid. The only way you're going to get phosphorus in the soil for your plant to do any good is to use liquid. If you put any other kind in there, granulated powder, it takes about 3 to 4 months for that to break down and start working, so you're probably not going to get any benefit from it this year. So if you want to get something, you've got to be able to put the liquid down.
All right. Can you just plant some potatoes and they will come up?
No. If you go buy potatoes out of a store, they've been sprayed with sprout nip. All potatoes have. Sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, red potatoes, white potatoes, I don't care what kind of potatoes. They've all been sprayed with sprout nip, which means
they might eventually sometimes.
When they get old, and they go to shrivel up
faster than anything.
Yeah, they might sprout then, but you don't want them if they get to that point. You want good, sound potatoes.
Sasquatch soap, somebody said, is good. So I think we have a bar of that. The Homestead box, I think, sent some of that, didn't we? We have some of that. Let's see. Why is the sun more white than yellow, especially during the morning to early evening?
Well, that is because we're in a grand solar minimum, and the sun is going to sleep. And when it goes to sleep,
it doesn't mean it quits shining.
It doesn't mean it quits shining, but it changes colors. Now, the ultimate color that it's going to eventually be is going to be blue.
We don't want blue.
Blue is the most intense color that the sun can give off. Orange is the least intense that it gives off.
Yeah, somebody's saying just buy organic potatoes from the store. You might have better luck with the organic.
You might have better luck with them, but organic ones are sprayed with sprouting nip too, I'm going to tell you. And just because they say organic doesn't mean that they're organic.
Let's see. I have bought organic white sweet potatoes from the grocery store and got 60 plants from 2 potatoes.
That is highly possible. We planted probably 15 sweet potatoes, and we've gotten probably 300 to 400 off or more.
Somebody said, did the rain help the corn?
No, the corn's gone. I mean,
it's still there. What stalks have?
It's whatever. What little bit of green is left in the stalks, the ears are probably sucking up a little bit of moisture, but it's not. I mean, it's not going to grow anymore. No, it's not going to grow anymore.
Is the bone saw safe around domesticated animals?
Yeah, my cows, I saw them licking on it, so it didn't hurt them.
Yeah, he put it out and they went straight to it. So we're like, Billy, the cows like it. The UV index is often maxed and ordered shade cloth in the north. Stuff is frying. Yes. We've been talking about that today, so.
Danny, is anything I can do to deter timber rattlesnakes? I do dispatch, but they are protected in my area. The only thing is lime. Lime heavy on the ground irritates their bellies if they crawl on it. So powdered lime, not pelletized, but powdered lime is about the best thing I can tell you to use.
Who do we order seed potatoes from? We didn't order any this year.
We don't usually, because they have them locally here whenever we go to town in the early spring. But if we do order, we order in the late fall or early winter from Hoss Tool.
Yeah, the last couple of years before that, we had gotten Hoss Tool seed potatoes. And they all seem to grow really well.
We've always had good luck. I ain't going to lie to you.
Okay, so somebody says, I think I heard Wanda say that lightning helps a garden grow. How does that work?
That's called electroculture. Yes, that's true.
Mr. Mickey has a video. You can go watch Hills
Mill Homestead. Mr. Mickey has a video up showing his tomato plants and talking about it. I've known about electroculture for probably 40 years or more. It takes place when lightning goes through the atmosphere. Lightning passing through the rain in the atmosphere creates nitrogen in the water. And when the water comes to the ground, it puts nitrogen into your plants. Plus, the electrical current, like we put steel tomato cages around our tomatoes, the electrical current in the air is picked up through those tomato cages and is run down into the ground, and it stimulates your roots in the plants in the ground. I mean, I can't go into all the chemistry of it right here, but it makes the plants grow a lot healthier, a lot faster.
Somebody said they had ordered walking onions from my Etsy store. Actually, what you're getting is the old-fashioned onions. It's not the Egyptian walking onions. It is the old-fashioned multiplying onions, which you eat the green of. They make a small bulb, and then you can replant, but you can clip off the green forever. As long as you can keep it alive, you can sit there, and they'll keep multiplying. You'll have more bulbs.
Donna, the complete address for Billy to order the bone saws, you just have to go to his YouTube page, which is Permapasture Farms. Just go over to Permapasture Farms, and in the description down below on one of his videos, you'll find it.
How do you know when to water tomatoes? I have containers, and I have some end rot.
The end rot is caused by a calcium deficiency. You don't have enough calcium in the soil. So, Pam, you need to up your calcium in the soil.
How is your urine test working?
It's working real good. My peppers are actually jumping because we went back and put a little bit more around them. And my peppers are just, I mean, I think the peppers are doing better than any other plant that I'm putting them on, to be honest with you. They are loving it.
Hello, purely grounded from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Let's see.
Let's see here.
Somebody's saying the end rot is mainly the lack of calcium, so that's what you just said.
Yeah.
Miss Lippy's putting up Permapasture Farms. I guess it's their website.
Yeah.
They're saying it's raining in northern Alabama.
All right.
Singapore is the lightning capital of the world. So let's see. Thoughts on the Mormon grasshoppers on the West Coast.
The grasshoppers, it's really a long story, guys. I don't have time to tell it here tonight. But the grasshoppers, this is nothing new. Back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, the grasshoppers used to migrate across the Midwest and they'd wipe out crops. And it'd always go to a specific valley over toward Washington State and Oregon in there. They always went to that specific valleys. And there they would migrate from and migrate back to. Every year they came out from there. And it's not really anything new. It's just that people now, because of the lack of farming in lots of areas, they don't see this anymore. So when they do see it, they think that they think that there's something crazy is happening. Danny, am I okay if I'm a Catholic and not Christian? One Lord, right? Being Catholic has nothing to do with going to heaven. Being a Christian has nothing to do with going to heaven. Only one thing is going to get you in heaven. I don't care what religion you are. The only thing that's going to get you into heaven is you got to fall down on your knees and accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior. Acknowledge that you're a sinner. Ask Him to come into your heart and save you. And that is not going to happen unless the Holy Spirit is working with you. And the simple fact that you asked the question tells me that perhaps the Holy Spirit is beginning to prick your heart because you're concerned. So I would say begin to pray and ask God. Start seeking Him. It ain't got nothing to do with religion. Let me tell you. Religion will send you to hell.
You can go to church and you choose the church. Everybody can choose where they want to go, but it's your relationship with Jesus that matters.
Yeah. I've got dear Catholic friends that are just as saved as anybody I've ever met. I've got Baptist friends that are saved. I've got Methodist friends that are saved. Pentecostal friends that are saved.
Black, white.
I don't care what color you are. God don't see nothing but the heart of man. He doesn't see color. He doesn't see religion. He just sees the intent of the heart.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, let me do this. Plug for my cookbook.
Yes. Ta-da!
From the garden to pantry to table in the Deep South kitchen. That's a picture of our pantry, some of our veggies, and a plate I fixed a couple of years ago. I ordered new cookbooks. They will be here in about 2 weeks. So if all you ladies has been asking when I will have cookbooks in, maybe in 2 weeks. I won't put them up on Etsy till I know they've been shipped, because if I put them on Etsy and people buy, then the order just sits on my Etsy store. So I'll wait until they're here to put them up. Okay,
I'm going to answer a question. Somebody asked a question. Where in the Bible does it say we're going to heaven? It does not say we're going to heaven. Okay? Heaven is anywhere that God is. Okay? John said in Revelation, he said, I behold, and I saw the new city, Jerusalem, coming down. It comes down upon the earth, and the one he saw sitting on the throne, he explains the one sitting on the throne. It's God, and Christ is sitting at his right hand. So wherever God is where heaven's at. That's my best answer.
All right. I'm trying to see. Somebody asked about the cookbook. Said it does use the stuff we're canning.
Yes.
Most of the recipes are stuff that you don't have to go to the store and buy a whole bunch of stuff. It's stuff you have. I use jarred food that I've canned. The meats that we preserve, I tell you, if it's a recipe that you can swap all the meats around, if it's pork, chicken, beef, pork, whatever.
Prepared Family says, what is your suggestion for moles? They tore my potatoes up this year. Well, I'm gonna have to answer that. Moles did not tear your potatoes up. Moles do not eat potatoes. Moles, now VOLES, might have done that. Not MOLES. Moles are insect eaters. So if anything eats your potatoes up, it was either mice, because they bore tunnels underground and eat your potatoes up, or voles, spelt with the letter V.
All right. How do I get rid of mosquitoes and ticks around my garden without harmful chemicals? Somebody also said, how do we deal with mosquitoes? So far, I've seen 2 in the last month or so.
We don't
hardly ever have a mosquito around.
We hardly ever have mosquitoes here. We don't have any ticks.
We do not keep
water
in containers that they can grow in. If you have wet spots where water stands all the time, mosquitoes will grow. If the grass is real high around water spots, that feeds them. If you've got water barrels and stuff that you just leave there all the time, they can start growing in that. We keep all that changed out.
We do not soak our seeds, Grace Dale. We don't soak any of our seeds before we plant them. We just keep our soil good and moist when we plant our seeds, and we have had no problems with it.
Miss Lucy, I will fix it where that I can ship to Canada with the cookbooks. I can do that, so I'll make sure that happens.
Patty says, Danny, heaven's got to be somewhere because it's got my mansion. Actually, Patty, you got to understand. I've done tremendous amounts of study in the Hebrew. The word mansion, when it says, you got to go back to the Hebrew language to understand what that means. The word mansion means that you just have a room on the house that the Lord has. When a Jewish boy would marry, he would build a room on his father's house. The Lord gave us these examples in Scripture to let us know what heaven was going to be like. Heaven is the city. The city's 1,500 miles square, and in that city is just one giant mansion, and we all have a room on the Father's house. So that's the actual meaning behind that.
Okay. Why dilute urine for fruit trees?
Urine is pretty powerful. If you go out and just pee on the ground all the time in one spot, it'll kill the grass. I mean, so you kind of got to dilute it down. Does anyone know how Kevin's Danny Corn is doing? I haven't. Kevin and Sarah has really been busy. They've got a new house they're trying to get moved in, and their parents.
They're trying to get the house moved in on the property.
On the property.
Not
Kevin's parents. His father's been sick, and they've been sick. They've had some COVID and different things, and we try not to bother them too much during this time in their life because they need all their time and their strength to get everything done.
I'll check with Sarah later and see. But I think it was up. Last time I talked to her, I think it was up, but I don't know past that.
Yeah, I saw it up about. I looked at one of their videos. It was up like 10 inches tall.
Oh, okay. So you did see that.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's moving too fast. Every man will have his own vine and sit under his own fig tree, unafraid. That's just one of their things.
Does the fish in the pond, are they eating anything that lands in the water? Yes, our fish are like piranhas. Wanda filmed some the other day.
I hadn't even put it up.
We hadn't put it up yet or anything, but she filmed some. There was hundreds of big old.
I was feeding them the other day. I was eating.
You was feeding something and you was throwing it over, and literally hundreds of them are coming up out there. They look like piranhas.
It doesn't matter what I'm eating. They like
to eat anything.
It seemed like I had a graham cracker or something. I would break and throw pieces off, and they just, they like bread. They like anything you want to throw out there. Danny has catfish food, and he throws it out there, and they eat like crazy. Can you safely can raw milk? I don't know.
I have canned milk before successfully. The only problem is it will caramelize on you if you're not careful. It's better to dry it and to not dehydrate, but to freeze dry it and make a powder out of it is the safest way to go. Will hog wallows cause mosquitoes? Not.
They usually wall around them enough.
Yeah, if they wall around in them so much till
they keep it stirred up.
Yeah, you usually don't have a mosquito problem in a hog waller.
I missed something somebody said and I lost it. Somebody wants to know the price of my cookbook. It is $25 and that includes shipping unless it's to Canada because it'll have to be a little more going to Canada and I can't remember. I don't know if I can ship to Canada for $10 or not. It might go over. So according to that, Canada will be a little more, but in the United States, $25. That does include shipping. B.
Crotch says, I hope it wasn't carp. Those things breed so fast. You can't buy carp and put in a pond. It's illegal
here in
Mississippi to sell breeding carp. The carp we have in our ponds are sterile. They sterilize them at birth, and because it's illegal, you can't do it.
Yeah. Will we smoke or can the catfish? No.
No.
We will actually eat them fresh. That's when we want fish, we go out and get it and we eat it, and then we don't overfish. We don't go out and just get a whole bunch of fish. If we go out 1 to 2 fish according to what we need for supper.
Yeah, we don't put them in the freezer and all that kind of stuff. We just go out. If we want one, we go catch one, and we bring it in, we clean it, we eat it fresh.
Yeah. How is the corn doing?
It's still standing. I mean, I'm pulling it up every day, feeding it to the cows. The ones that has a little small ear on it or something, I'll leave it just to see if it, if it'll actually finish filling out. Deborah says, I'm having problems with roaches in my compost. If you're having problems with roaches in your compost, it's not hot enough. You need more moisture and more nitrogen and more carbon mixed up in it. So it's got to reach a certain temperature.
All right. Let's see what they're saying. GMO fish. What a shock. What does that mean?
When we talk about them being sterile, they didn't genetically modify them. They do it through electrical current. They sterilize them.
Yeah, they're not GMO. They're just not going to produce because they overproduce and then they ruin a pond.
Is it too late to start Cherokee purple pumpkin seeds?
No.
Not really. I mean, unless you live way up north. Now, yes, if you live up north, it might be a little late. But if you live down south, no.
What brand of oxygen absorbers do I use? Harvest Right, the brand that they sell. I have bought some on Amazon and use some of those as an extra supply, but usually I buy Harvest Right. Why are my blackberries and blueberries not sweet this year? Probably the heat.
It was the heat.
The heat do that.
Ours was not as sweet this year.
And they were not as big.
Yeah.
Somebody said they have fire ants in their compost. Well, welcome to South Mississippi.
Yeah.
I don't know where you live, but we have them everywhere.
We used freeze dryer for preserving food? Yes, Susan. We have a freeze dryer. We've preserved all kinds of food with it.
I just took out watermelon.
The watermelon cantaloupe are too.
Cantaloupe. Oh,
fine. Oh my gosh, they're good.
I did some gumbo. I made gumbo last week. I've got a video coming up Tuesday on Crazy Days on gumbo. It's shelf-stable pantry items. I did one last month and the month before, and one coming up Tuesday. And I took some of the gumbo and rice and put it in my freeze dryer and freeze dried it. And I hadn't tested it yet, but I did freeze dry it.
Steve, Danny, where do you get your overalls? They seem to work well. I get mine from Roundhouse. They're American made.
Roundhouse.com.
It's roundhouse.com. You go there and you can go to their website. You can order right there and they'll ship them right to your door. But then again, some places they have stores that you can purchase them at. We just don't have one here, so we just go online and get them.
RB, yes, we can see what you're typing. Yeah, I freeze-dried okra. What else? I freeze-dried some milk. Barrett brought us some fresh milk from his cow the other day, and I was using it for my coffee, and I decided to try one tray of milk. So I freeze-dried milk, and it did awesome. We've done a lot of eggs in a variety of ways. I freeze-dried figs, strawberries. I opened some strawberries this week and put them in a dessert I made, and it was amazing to have strawberries this time of the year.
Danny, is your ancestors from Ireland? No. My ancestors are Native American and French.
I think they came from...
I have two sides of Native Americans and one side of French.
I love the Gulf shrimp gumbo. There ain't no shrimp like Gulf Coast shrimp. I like the Gulf Coast shrimp. I haven't had any in years because after the spill they had down there.
Once they had the spill.
I haven't had any probably since then. But before then, I'd never liked shrimp until a friend of mine got some fresh off the boat. And when she fixed that, from that point on, I was a shrimp eater as long as it came from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. They were delicious. How do you like
to celebrate Independence Day? We work. We don't really celebrate holidays, to be honest with you. We just work and keep going. That's all I can say is I'm not a big holiday celebrator. Now I do like Thanksgiving. I do believe in giving thanks. I do think that there's feast days that one should do their best to keep. But
all right, what fruit trees can be grown in the deep south that can also provide shade in the summer?
Fruit trees that can provide shade. One's a mulberry. Our mulberry tree gives us great shade and it gives us good fruit. Persimmon trees. There are persimmons. Make great shade trees. They give fruit on them. Pecan's not a fruit.
I'll be right back.
Our pecan trees give us a good bit of shade. Our pear trees. Now, our pear trees are really big, and they have a good bit of shade on them, too. So, I mean, that would be about the only thing that I can think of. Are the Barbados cherries sweet? Yes, ours are very sweet. Actually, the Barbados cherry is not a cherry. It's actually a tropical fruit. They just call them a cherry tree.
I forgot to bring these in here.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Ron Foster sent us these, and I've been using mine, y'all. It is a Cool Gator. It's called Cool Gator. Danny's is camouflage, and they go around your neck. Mine is pink. You put water in them, and they're cool, and they keep your neck cool. So I almost forgot those, but Ron did send these, and I've been using mine today because it was hot. So if y'all need a way to stay cool, Cool Gator, or a washcloth, or a dish towel, an old shirt, but y'all gonna need it when it gets hot.
Yeah.
Every day's a day to celebrate
life and its gifts. Bless you. Yeah, we look at it that way. Every day I wake up, I thank the Lord every day that He's given me another day to live, because there's been 4 times in my life that I wasn't supposed to wake up. And when I did, I was thankful that the Lord brought me through another tragedy, through another, mission gone bad, if you want to call it that. And I was able to survive. I had to learn how to walk several different times in my life because of massive injuries and stuff to this nature. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful every day.
Amy wants to know, why does vacuum sealed jars come loose after a while?
They're not supposed to.
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
They didn't vacuum seal right if they come loose.
Or either something in the jar had some kind
of powder or dust or something got on them. Yeah.
Because I usually vacuum sealed jars don't come loose. Now, I had somebody today have problems with their lids, and they were ball lids they bought last year, and they messaged me. They made jelly, and they said like several of them didn't seal. They redid them, and several of more did not seal. So I don't know if it was the lid, the jars, the process. I don't have a clue, but y'all check your lids and check your jars regularly. Have you ever thought about selling freeze-dried candy on Etsy? No.
No, we don't sell anything.
I don't have time to freeze-dry candy. That's the one thing I tried candy, and I've done some ice cream and some eggnog. Now, freeze-dried eggnog and ice cream is amazing, but I'm not going to sell it. If I do it, it'll be mine.
Replanting the peach tree. The story broke my heart. Yes, I've actually replanted probably a dozen peach trees since I lost that one. I have a bunch more of them. None of them are bearing peaches except 2. I have 2 of them.
One of them's fully loaded, but they're not very big.
And we got that drought. They're just not very big.
Yeah, but they're starting to turn.
Yeah.
So we'll get some if the animals don't get them. Danny's gonna
Wanda, Danny, is there a difference between grass-fed ground beef and organic grass-fed ground beef for a healthy meat? Let me tell you something about grass-fed meat. Grass-fed meat, most cows that you get are grass-fed beef, unless you know the farmer who's raising it, is raised on grass that's been sprayed with Grazon, Remedy, or 2,4-D, and the chemical is all in the meat. I would not eat grass-fed meat unless I knew the farmer personally who raised it, and he could guarantee me that none of these herbicides was ever sprayed on the grass or the hay that these animals ate, because that stuff goes into their body and it stays in their body. That does pass through their through their intestinal tract, and it comes back out in their feces, but a certain percentage of it stays in the meat.
What type of fertilizer do you use around your peach trees?
My peach trees, mainly, I'll be honest with you, I just mow the grass and blow it up around the bottom of the trees and just let it rot around the bottoms of them. Now, occasionally in the fall, I will spread some lime around the base of my peach trees because peach trees need lime.
My daughter's in here. She says we look young tonight.
Wow.
Thank you, Amy.
What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
What do you want?
Yeah. She wants to come spend a week or 2 because her kids are having a time.
She's having a time. Okay. Oh, I remember the story now.
I told him the story of the animals. My daughter ended up with a whole bunch. She needs to do a whole video on what happened this week with her husband bringing all these animals home for the kids.
Who is that?
You don't know where yet.
Annie, I'm considering drip irrigation for my garden because of the drought. Do you think that putting garden on drip will help even with the radiation? Have you considered this with your corn? I think you're probably going to have to put drip irrigation in the future. I'm just going to be honest with you. Now, as far as the radiation is concerned, I don't think anything's going to correct that, to be honest with you, unless you can come up with a good shade cloth over wherever you're planting.
Because we come to realize when our corn was up and so pretty and green and it started tossling, that's when the radiation came. That's when we had those real bad days and the tossels got fried, which meant it didn't do what it was supposed to, and the plant started dying. And so we do believe it killed the tossels, and that did not help our plants.
Look into Eden Garden to protect your plants from drought. We tried back to Eden here. It does not work. Fire ants, insects eat up everything we had. We took it all out and went back to farming the old traditional way, and it works a lot better for us here in the deep south. Now, it does work in other parts of the country, just not here.
Somebody asked about freeze drying. I had said the humidity was preventing a good product. I made sure, because when I was first doing it, I didn't pay any attention to when it was raining or the humidity levels were up. Now I freeze dry when I know it's not going to be raining, when we have really hot days and things like that. I don't take it out of the freeze dryer in the rain. Now, I was taking it out of the freeze dryer, bringing it into the house, which was going through rain sometimes,
yeah,
and then trying to seal it in the house. I've set up something since in my canning room where I go out of the freeze dryer into that room where it's hot, package it up right there immediately. It never goes out into the moisture. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. God loves you. We will keep you in our prayers for your upcoming surgery. I did see that when it went by.
What can I do for grasshoppers eating all my vegetables?
We don't have a bad grasshopper problem. We have one occasionally. You'll get in something.
In my greenhouse.
If you have a bad grasshopper problem, you need to get you some guineas. Guineas will get every grasshopper they come across. So, I mean, you might want to get you a few guineas if they'll allow it. Do you think we'll have an active hurricane season this year? Not in the first part because of the way that the Azore High is setting up in the Atlantic Ocean. Is shoving all tropical stuff way down into South America across the upper part of South America, coming out in the Pacific Ocean over there. So at least until the end of July, we probably are not going to have anything, or mid-July. Let me say this, probably till mid-July, we're not going to have anything serious going on, and possibly even late July.
Do I have a video on making and canning chow chow? No.
Miss Lippy does.
He does.
Miss Lippy got a video on it.
Go check Miss Lippy out. I don't do chow chow. First time I heard it, I was a little kid. Somebody gave my daddy chow chow, and us kids refused to touch it. And I haven't really heard a lot about it until recently.
How is the barn cooler doing? It is doing, Molly, it is doing fantastic. I mean, that thing has worked like a charm. A couple of is raised locally is probably okay. Most tilapia now comes from Vietnam and places like that. I will not eat anything from out of the country because of the way they raise them and the unsanitary conditions. But if you can raise them or you know somebody who raises them, they're fine to eat. Now, they're a trash fish. I'm not going to lie about it. But they are a fast-growing fish, and they really taste pretty good, too, because I've actually eaten them before. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Bama Gardner, it's us. Our computer keeps telling us it's kicking on and offline. We must have some weather coming in.
Yeah, we thought we would have...
anyway, we probably need to go ahead and pray where we can get off of here, because if the weather's coming in, it's going to knock us off.
It's 9 o'clock anyway.
It's going to knock us off anyway. So we'll go ahead and we'll pray for everybody. Father, we come to you tonight. We want to thank you, and we want to tell you how much we appreciate you. We love you. You've been so good to us all week, Lord, and all we can do is stand up and just glorify and praise you. You sent the rain. We were in such dire straits and need for rain here, Lord. We did lose some things, but you know what? The Bible says that if we pray for one another, you know, we can have things. And Father, our subscribers prayed. It's evident people were praying because you sent the rain. We got a little shower today, possibly another one coming sometime later on tonight. None of it's putting water in the pond, but it's watering our land a little bit, and it's keeping things alive, and that's okay with us. We just appreciate every drop you give us, Father. And I'm praying that if there's anybody out here and it's in the chat tonight that needs rain, I'm praying you'll send them rain, and that you'll water their land and nourish it and help it to produce abundantly. We all know that Hasatan doesn't want any one of us to succeed at growing our gardens, and he'll cause man to manipulate the weather as much as he can and try to destroy our land and our crops in any way that he can to keep us from being able to survive what's coming in this world. And Father, we know that there's horrible things around the corner that's about to happen, and I'm praying that for the people here tonight, Lord, that each and every one of them will have the faith to stand through what's fixing to happen. And Lord, it's a terrible thing to think about the shape that the world is in. And when I look at the Roe versus Wade thing, Father, and what's going on with that, and the wickedness that our country's throwing out there, it just makes me sick at my stomach. And I just, it does no good to pray for our country anymore, because we know that we're under judgment. We just pray for the people of the country that's trying to live right, Father. I'm asking that you please be kind to each and every one of them. Lord, those that's having surgery this week, I'm praying for them, Father, that you'll guide the surgeon's hands, that they'll come through their surgery well, and that their bodies will be healed and they'll be able to get back about their business now. And Father, for those that's had COVID and other sicknesses in their life, I'm praying for them that they can have healing and strength put back in their bodies now. And those that's lost loved ones, I pray that you can heal their bodies, Lord, and their minds, and help them to find peace and comfort to be able to make it through those days when they feel lonely and without, since the people have gone on. And Father, we're asking that you forgive us all tonight of all of our sins and help us to have a better relationship with you. We ask these things in thy name. Amen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you get your water from Lake Mead, please start now figuring out some way to get another means of water.
Have some stored.
Have some stored up. Start storing it up now. Do whatever you can, because I've got word that Lake Mead is in serious trouble. I can't go into details, but they're actually thinking about shutting down Lake Mead. And right now, my understanding is that Homeland Security has has shut down anything around Lake Mead. They have a busted water line. One of the giant lines is busted in Lake Mead, and according to their website now. And there's only about one way that can really happen, and that is that the ground or the dam itself has moved and has caused a crack in that line, allowing it to leak. And that's not good for the ones that are down river from that. As a matter of fact, if it goes very much lower, they're going to shut the power off. And they've already shut down some of the generators, the turbines, I guess you call it, that's running. I think there's like 12 or 13 of them on it, and 4 or 5 of them's already been shut down, according to the site. And if you get your power or your water from this place, be prepared for blackouts and be prepared for no water.
Have some somewhere.
Have some stored up. Build you if rain catchment in your place is illegal, there's ways around that. Go get you some kiddie pools and put them in your backyard. And if anybody says anything, tell them they're for the kids to play in. Get you a 5-gallon buckets and sit them under the edge of the house, and just do anything you can do to catch some water. And go to our My Patriot Supply. We got a link down below. Go there and get you an Alexa Pure. That is a water purifier where you can pour your water in it and have drinking water. I mean, guys, I'm telling you, water is life. What is it? Amaganita?
Yeah.
Cherokee. The Cherokee word for water is life is Amaganita. And literally,
You're saying it pretty close.
I'm saying it pretty close.
I don't know if you got it.
I may not be exactly right on it. I don't have I can't put my tongue in the right place. It's like speaking Spanish. You got to put your tongue in the right place in your mouth. But, guys, water is going to be the new future. You already pay more for it. Well, you used to. I don't know if you still do, but you used to pay more for it than you did gasoline. So you got to stop and think about it. Get water. And there's millions of people that depend on Lake Mead, and Homeland Security is talking about shutting down Lake Mead. So guys, do what you can do. We love you, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.
Thank you, guys.